Hello guys, today in this live stream we will be building a animated login form with the floating placeholders, something like this. So basically will be using the concept of transitions that you see inside CSS3 transitions. This will be a fully animated login form you can see here on your screen. If I hover onto this button, you will see this awesome little light effect here. Basically this is a glowing effect that you see here. The button is glowing. You can see that as I hover onto this button, this submit button. So basically it also has this nice little box shadow effect that is there inside this button, and the button is fully animated. You can see that. So basically if I want to change the glowing, I think is the right button. So basically the button will be glowing here with the color here. You can see that you can change this color accordingly, any color of your choice. You can inspect element, and basically this is the color here. You can change here to any color of your choice. It is totally dependent upon you which color you want to change. There are various colors out there, so like this you can change it. So we will try to replicate this effect guys, which is button glowing effect, inside the CSS3 animated form. So if you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. And for building this, I have given all the source code in the description of the live stream. So this is the blog post I have written. So all the source code will be given here. So just go to the description of the blog post. So now get started by building this login form. So for this we have simply need to create a simple index.html file inside your favorite text editor. So here basically we can change the login form, and let me just build it side by side so that you can guys better see what is happening here. And here we will be opening with live server, so nothing is there here. So first of all, right guys, we will write the basic HTML which is required for this application. So div, and we will have this class which is login box, which will wrap this all this login form, and inside this heading we will have simply login. So you will see that on the right hand side. Then we have the form element. So basically guys, inside the form element we will have a simple div which will have this user box, and inside the user box guys we will have an input field of type text, and basically this field needs to be required. And basically after this there needs to be a label which is username. So simply we will put the label which is username. So refresh it. Now you will see this username label guys. Next we got is our another user box. This time this will be for password, input type password, and also it should be required. And after this guys we will again be a label here which will be for password. We will say password. So you will see that password. So after that guys we will have three anchor tags: span, 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 span. So after this we will have the submit button which will be there. You can see that. So now this completes the HTML guys. So there is nothing inside HTML. This is all the HTML that is needed for this application. So now basically what we can do is that we can make a simple style.css file inside the another file. So here inside our root directory we can make another file, style.css. So now to replicate this we need to style this effect here. So now to replicate this effect here, you can write any username, any password, and then you can click the submit button. So now to do this guys, first of all we need to write some styles here inside our CSS. So after this, first of all we will make the height of HTML to be 1000. Then basically we will change the margin to 0 of the body. and the padding to also 0. We will say that the font family is sans serif. So the fonts, you can see it is changed here. And then basically we need to change the background to linear gradient. And then these are the colors we need to say 141 E30, and the second color is 243 B55. So basically you can see this is a gradient color that we have applied here. You can see that this is a gradient color, blue color. Now we will target this login box class, guys. You can see that where the button login form is there, you can see that. So this is the submit button, and now we need to make this as material card like. So for making it, guys, we will now target this login box. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. We will make the position as absolute. We will make top to 50%. We will left to also 50%. So basically this will make the form right here at the center position. So you will see that the form will move to the center position. So then after this, what we need to do is that we need to make the form width to be exactly 400 pixel. We need to give some padding to it also of 40 pixel. And then basically we will use the transform property of, we need to translate it minus 50%, minus 50%. So if you have any sort of doubt, guys, you can ask in the comment section. Nice login button animation. Yeah, hologram is saying nice button animation. Yeah, that's exactly the animation that I wanted inside this. If you hover onto this, you can see the border. It is having this animation in loop here. And then we have this awesome little hover effect. So when you hover onto this, the animation changes here. You can see that. So after this, what we need to say that we need to change the background to RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.5. So now basically we have provided this black background here, effect here. So this is the black background that you see here. So after this, we need to change the box sizing to border box. And then we need to provide a box shadow effect here, which is 0, 15 pixel, 25 pixel, RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.6. So now guys, you can see that this is a box shadow. It is effect here. So something shadow like is there, something like this. So this shadow is given here. You can see that how it is looking pretty good here. So after giving this shadow, we also need to make the border radius property as to 10 pixel. So basically you can see this will make this edges as round here, this border radius property. So this will make this border radius property as round. So now basically we will target the H2 inside login box. So we will first of all give margin 30 pixel, and first of all we will change the color to white. We will give some padding padding, remove the padding 0, and then we will align the text in the center position. After that, we will target the user box class. Position will be relative. So then guys, we will target the user box input field. So here we will make the width as 100%. You can see that we will give some padding 10 pixel 0, and basically we will change the font size to be 16 pixel. So now it is looking pretty big here, the font size. And then we need to change the color also to white. I think the color is white here. Margin bottom we need to give for 30 pixel. We need to remove the borders, so no border is there here. And then we need to change the background to transparent. So now there is no background here. You can see the border is white, and we also need to remove the outline. So you can see that. And then guys, we will style the label, which is login box, user box label. So we will make the position to be absolute. First of all, let me change the color of the label to white. So you can see this is the label here, username, password. So we have made the position absolute. After that, we need to make the top position to 0, the left to also 0. So here we need to give padding 10 pixel 0. We need to change the font size to 16 pixel. Then we need to make the pointer events to none. You can see that we need to replicate like this guys, which is the floating. It needs to be floating. The placeholders need to be floating here. You can see that when I click on this, it will go up like this, floating placeholders. And inside this, the button, we need to have this hover animation. So after this, we need to have a transition effect of 0.5 second. You can see that. So after this guys, what we need to say that we now need to style the dot login box dot user box input focus. We need to style the label also, comma, valid. So here you need to uh, give the top position to 20 pixel. So you can see that left to also 0. We need to make the color this color, which is 03 E9 F4. This is a blue color. And then we need to change the font size to be 12 pixel. So if I refresh it, now you can see it will move to the uh, position here like this. So this is a floating placeholder animation is going here by writing the styles here. So if I say here, you can see that. So now we need to style the submit button, guys, to get this animation like this. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. I see only 3 likes are there, so please increase the likes because this increases the uh, stream presence. More and more people will join in once the likes button increase. So after this, guys, we need to now target the login box form and the anchor element. So here, guys, first of all, what we will say that we will say we need to remove the position. Sorry, position will be relative and display property will be inline dash block, and we will give some padding to it of 10 pixel, 20 pixel. Then we will be changing the text color to this color, which is 03 E, this color that you see here. And the font size, we will change the button here, which is 16 pixel. Then we will remove this underline which you see inside the text decoration to none. So no underline is there. And after this, we need to change text uppercase, text transform to uppercase. So it will be in all capital letters, and then we need to say overflow to hidden. So then we also need to have transition of 0.5 second. We need to have margin from the top position. Margin from the top position here, 40 pixel. So letter spacing, we need to give it as 4 pixel. So now, guys, we will have the hover effect here. When we hover onto this button, what we need to say. So here we will say login box a underscore hover. So this is a pseudo class. So here, first of all, we need to change the background of this to 03 E9. So if you say, now you can see the background is changed here when we hover onto this button. Also, we need to change the color to white color. So you can see that. We also need to change the border radius to 5 pixel like this. And then the box shadow effect, which is the most important, 005 pixel, comma 0025 pixel, 0050 pixel, 00 pixel. So now you can see that, guys, this is the box shadow effect that we were talking about. This is giving this transition effect here, light effect, glowing effect that you see here. So this is the box shadow that we have given here. So this is the actual transition effect that you see. After this, guys, what we will say is that we will style the span tag. We will say position to absolute. We will change the display to block. And then we will say login box a span nth child to 1. And here we will say top to 0 and left to minus 100%, width to also 100%, height to 2 pixel, background to linear gradient. Inside this we will put 90-degree transparent, transparent, and then this color, which is this one. So basically we need to animate this button. So basically now what you will see is that this glowing effect is there. Please hit the like button guys, subscribe the channel as well. And now we will put a animation here, animation. So the name of the animation will be BTN ANIM1, and it will go for 1 second. It will be linear and infinite. So now we need to define this animation, which is what this animation will do. So here we will say at the rate keyframes button anim1, and inside this we will say at 0% of the animation we need to say left to minus 100%. So 6 people are watching the stream guys, so we are building this animated button with glowing effect inside HTML and CSS3. Please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. You can see that. So at 0% we need to have left to minus 100%. At 50%, comma 100%, we need to have the left to 100%. So now what we will see guys, after this we need to also have the second element, which is there, login box a span nth child 2, and this will be the top, which will be minus 100%, right will be 0, width will be 2 pixel, height will be 100%, and the background will be basically guys, which is linear gradient, and this will be 180-degree. It will be transparent, and the color will be same once again, this color. And also guys, we will say the animation here, we need to again put the animation. This time we will put btn anim2. It will again go for 1 second, linear and infinite. Animation delay will be around 0.25 seconds. So now we need to define the second animation which will run here guys, which is simply at the rate keyframes btn anim2, and at 0% guys, this animation what will say top to minus 100%, and at 50% and 100%. Someone has subscribed guys, so thank you very much for your subscription. I missed the name, sorry. So 100% we will now see. So similarly guys, we will target the third element, which is there, login box a span nth child, the third span which is there. So this time these styles will be slightly different. We will now see 270-degree. So once again we will define the third animation which is there, which is btn anim3. So right to minus 100% and then right to 100%. And similarly we will define the fourth span tag as well. So basically just I will copy paste it. So here guys, you will now see we have the fourth nth child, so we will have the fourth button animation. So now you can see that let me see, I have made a mistake here. If I paste the correct styles here guys, sometimes errors can take place. Now you can see This is the animation which is going on for the border here, and basically when I hover onto this has this glowing animation inside this button, which is submit button. And basically if you refresh it, we have this form. It will go like this, the floating placeholder, and then this button hover animation that you see. So this is the overall animation, guys, that is there inside this button. You can even make your own login form like this button glowing effect. So we haven't used any sort of fancy framework for doing this. It is completely vanilla HTML and CSS3. So we have used animations and transition effect for doing this glowing effect. So if you have any sort of questions, you can ask in the comment section. So if you have any sort of questions, guys, you can ask in the comment sections regarding this login form. So I think basically the login form here represents how basically you should design your elements. If you see here inside our body section, we have, so you can just change the background color, customize this accordingly. You can also give a box shadow also. You can customize the colors here like this, guys. You can see that this box shadow effect color, you can change it. It is totally dependent upon you which colors you want to use. So you can see that it has got this nice little box shadow effect color, which you can see here. Similarly, you can also change the box sizing effect, box shadow effect, how much effect that you want. And also you can change this background color as well, depending upon how you need to do it. So from this you can put any design, guys. You don't need this to manipulate these values inside your code. You can go to inspect element, just change the background color, and whichever effect that you want to see, you can see here. You can fully customize this accordingly. It is totally dependent upon you how need to customize it. Please subscribe the channel, guys. This is the videos that I will bring you, and also hit the like button. And when it comes to this button, guys, you can also see, you can also change its background color. So here you can also change the background color. It is totally dependent. This is gradient. So if you're watching it for the very first time, guys, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. And basically if you have any sort of questions related to what is CSS versus HTML, just tell me in the comment section which is of superior. Ahmed is saying, hi, do you have any information about how to protect my scam website from Google block or deceptive ahead? You should no index the pages that you want to prevent Google from indexing, because in theory you cannot prevent Google from indexing your website, but there is a one tag that you can put, which is no index tag inside your pages, so that you prevent Google from accessing your website or indexing your website. So In this way you can do it, but still you need to Google, you can't prevent Google from accessing your website, but you can put a no index tag. So if I tell you no index tag is basically it's a special tag which is no index tag. Basically it tells search engines not to include the page in search results. So you can do it, no follow, disallow. So basically you can block Google from accessing. So please hit the like button, guys. We are building this awesome little glowing effect button login form with floating placeholders. So button, as you can see, it is glowing here properly. It has having this background color. You can also change the text color of the button to whichever color that you want. So you can have these floating placeholders which are there. So when you click this input field, it will go upwards. So that's why it is called as floating placeholders. So it is floating like this. Then we have this button, awesome little button. So the nice thing about this form, guys, you can see it requires only slightly, I would say, very few lines of CSS code. So no other framework is used here. So it is entirely made of CSS. So we are not using any sort of third-party library for doing this. Ahmed is saying thanks, bro. So So first of all, hit the like button, guys. Subscribe the channel as well. Your photo will be coming in the channel if you subscribe it. You can see the subscriber goal is 8 subscribers. We need to reach 100. So increase this goal. So basically, CSS is very much a rising language, guys. So basically, I'm just starting a poll here. Just tell me which uh, language you prefer in writing CSS. Just tell me in styling. Is it SAS or is it CSS? So just participate in this poll. So basically I have started this poll here. So basically most of the developers I see is practicing now in these days SAS. They're not, they're going away from CSS. So I I'm pretty sure that SAS will got more votes, but now see it is 50-50%. So I also feel that SAS has additional features in comparison to CSS because SAS is a pre-compiled language and it has got a lot of features which CSS doesn't have, because SAS has if you go to the SAS website, they have various features which CSS doesn't have. Basically it's a superset of CSS with additional features, something as TypeScript for JavaScript. So basically it is compatible, it is feature rich, it is mature, various frameworks use SAS, industry approved, and it has a large community support. Bhaskara is saying that SAS. Yeah, definitely I see many people asking about SAS, and it also provides you variables where you can store values for storing CSS. So you no longer need to statically put these colors. You can store these values in a variables inside SAS, and then if you want to change the color for whole application, you just need to change that single variable. After that, so here basically we will have some kind of a variable instead of putting this colors statically. So three votes are there. You can see SAS is dominating here, 67%. It really depends upon you which framework you like, guys, which language you like. So the stream was disconnected, guys, for slightly 1 second because of the internet connection. Bhaskara is saying that how the button moving, so it is moving because of this transition effect that we applied here. You can see inside this transition we are giving here, which is 0.5 second. So if you studied about CSS transitions, you will know that it's the way to animate things. So CSS transitions provide a way to control animation speed when changing the CSS properties. So you can see we are changing the CSS properties of this anchor element, and here we have provided this transition effect. When we hover this, we are changing this box shadow. You can also change the value to this to 1 second. Transition if will be of 1 second. So now it will be slightly, you can now see it is slower. It is happening for around 1 second. You can even change this value to, let's suppose, 5 second. So now you can see that. If I change to 10 second, so if I just change it to 0.1 second, it will happen very quickly. So there is no animation here. You can see that. So that's why we need to put 0.5 here. So if you're watching it for the very first time, then guys, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. This tag that you see here, which is this one, it is all coming because of this password field. So this is all coming because of this button hover effect that you see here. When we hover this button, this transition effect is playing the role in the background. So you can control the seconds of animation. This is floating placeholder. So when we click this, focus this, so this label will go in the upward direction. So this is all coming because of the floating placeholder. You can now see. So then we have this login h2 heading. Then we have this button. So inside this code, you can control all the timings that you see here. Inside margin padding, this is the login button. You can see the border effect.